realization of unity consciousness. Discord and duality, polarity, dissolve. The harmony of unity consciousness is the natural expression of the soul. Nobody is interested in quarreling, fighting, war and violence anymore. Togetherness replaces against each other. Solidarity drives away competitive thinking. The realization of love-wisdom. Love-wisdom fully asserts itself in all activities. People love their fellow men because they know that they love himself. The way he treats others, he treats himself. There are basically no others. The realization of freedom. With the end of the illusion of linear time, freedom flourishes. When one knows that one is the soul and immortal, the fear of being separated disappears. Only then is he or she free, because only then does one take full responsibility for one's actions. Freedom through education. Man becomes free when his illusions die away and he intuitively receives true knowledge from the soul worlds. He is then no longer corruptible or seducible. Senseless, lengthy discussions, trying to convince others or proselytizing no longer take place. Freedom through travel. The new man is free to move in the cosmos wherever he wants. He does not need spaceships, stargates or spacesuits to do so. His worlds of experience vibrate with large parts of the cosmos. He is aware of them and can additionally visit other lower frequency ranges. Already today, many people have incarnations on other planetary systems, respective galaxies. Freedom through art and literature. The fifth dimensional human being expresses himself, his feelings, his thoughts, his love and wisdom creatively through all kinds of performing arts and literature, for his own pleasure and for the enthusiasm of his fellow creators. Multidimensional existence on the fifth dimension and higher is true creation. Freedom through research. The fifth dimensional human being is able and free to explore everything that interests him without restriction and to teach the results. He or she is not hindered by financial means, lack of equipment, or regulations that preclude an open-end approach. Research is then another word for exploratory creation for the benefit of all beings. In the old matrix, this was prevented because certain findings would have led to the premature end of the Earth's experiment. Freedom through communication. The new man is able, willing, and empowered to communicate through such means of communication as clairvoyance, clairaudience, telepathy, reading the Akashic records, and visiting frequency ranges of other dimensions. Devices are no longer necessary on the fifth dimension and higher. The certainty of the soul. Man now knows that he is soul, and therefore part of all that is. Nothing can ever happen to him that he does not want and that would be of his disadvantage, because he works for the good of the whole. The certainty of intuition and the ability to distinguish. Intuition, the language of the soul, is his everlasting secure source of wisdom as well as knowledge. As a soul, a person can intuitively and safely decide in every situation what is exactly right for him and the whole, and is willing and able to implement this. The certainty of uniqueness. The fifth dimensional human being knows his unique constitution, his individual tasks, and his special position in the overall framework. He knows that everyone contributes best to the well-being of the collective by realizing his or her unique potential. The polarity, altruism, egoism, disappears. The soul is love. Love is a synthesis of inner and outer harmony. The certainty of unity. Despite the certainty in his uniqueness, the fifth dimensional human being always feels a deep connection with all other people and beings, with plants, animals, and the entire environment, in the certainty that there is basically only one energy. The law of simplicity. All that is perfection in simplicity. It is energy, which is described completely and comprehensively by the universal law. The universal law is a rule of three, the simplest possible equation. All complicated formulas in traditional physics can be derived from the universal law. Therefore, there is only one natural law. Every form of complexity is an expression of the separation from the soul and all that is. Complexity is artificial and arises from limited perception. True knowledge is always simple, harmonious, and of exquisite beauty. True science is always simple and easy to understand. Multiplicity is based on the principle of simplicity. The certainty of visualizing and creative power. The fifth dimensional human being knows that his greatest strength lies in the visualization of what he wants to create and in the ability to actually manifest this and to do it immediately. This is not about the so-called cosmic ordering, a deeply materialistic misguidance of cuddly esoterics. Visualization begins as a mental process in the logically thinking as well as intuitive mind, and is then put into action by the astral energy of feeling and willpower. It is not about playing around without obligation or just casually mentioning what is desired. This process requires full presence, unconditional intention, and conscious concentration. If you want to visualize and create something, you have to be fully supporting it emotionally. It should be a real concern to you. There should also be a certain necessity for it. It is not about accumulating luxury items and riches, because we are immortal. Certain magic rituals are used for visualization and creation. For example, the Wheel of Life, the Pillars of Light, the Fountain of Freedom, invocations or personalized paths for specific projects, such as a City of Light, a healing, education or meditation center, an energy portal, the purification or energizing of a place or region. This is light work, which we have been doing for many years. The word magic comes from the Persian language and means to accomplish something. This happens when we do the right thing at the precise moment, in the best possible place, with the fitting people, or alone, in the necessary way, according to our own intuition, and always for the benefit of the whole. The Aquarian age is predestined for this kind of work. Rituals and group work are greatly enhanced by the new energies. We should not restrict ourselves just because we believe we are asking the impossible. Visualization is first and foremost about the grand design. We don't need to pay special attention to petty details. The creation always takes place in the present. We imagine the project as already realized. Visualizing and creating our new world is our most noble, joyful, and important task. We had always a lot of influence on how our lives are shaped by our inner attitude, our dreams and visions, and our practical life. The old saying, "As you call into the forest, so it echoes out," is still true. The certainty of the now. We know there is nothing but energy, and it is always flowing now. The fifth dimensional being knows when to do something and when to back off. This being realizes its potential in love, wisdom, and joy. The fifth dimensional being expands its consciousness and becomes God itself. Life and action is conscious, creative being.